Assalamu alaikum. Good morning, ma'am. I'm Hafsa Nisar from class 5A from EAP class. I have to design a lesson plan and I have decided to design for class 5. So the lesson consists of 90 minutes each day. So today's topic is vowels. The aim is, as a teacher, the aim is to introduce students about vowels and their functions. Vowels and consonants. That are vowels are the letters A, E, I, O, U, and the rest are consonant letters. So, as a teacher, the aim is to introduce about vowels to my children. And objectives. Uh, what I expect from the students is I hope the students are able to identify vowels. So, vowels is a special case. So, from today's lessons, the students would be able to identify vowels and to differentiate vowels. And students will be able to spell and pronounce words with vowels patterns. So, as vowels is a special case, students should be able to spell and pronounce the words with vowels accordingly. And student will identify and differentiate between short and long vowel sounds. Students will be able to identify and differentiate between long and short vowels. So, by the end of this last lesson, I expect this from the students. And students will practice using vowels in context through reading and writing activities. So when I am introducing them a new thing, so I expect them to implement it on their day to day life and activities hereafter when they are studying. And students will apply their knowledge of vowels to improve reading fluency and comprehension. So by this is a new talent in English language. So by introducing this, by teaching them this, they would be able to improve their fluency in reading, writing, and their literacy knowledge. And the materials I have used are textbooks and teacher guide, media, projector, textbook, teacher's guide, and some other electronic gadgets. So, the first 10 minutes of the classroom, that is for pre class activity. As the lesson is a broader part, I have more time for them to introduce the new thing. So, the first procedure is I start the class with greetings. And as a teacher, I greet students and tell students about the materials they will learn today. So I'm introducing them to the materials they are going to learn today. And the third procedure is teacher gives students pre-test about vowels. So as they are in grade 5 now, they might have already learnt about vowels in previous classes, not might be in broader levels but in smaller levels. So in the introduction stage, I hope they would definitely know and share the thoughts and the experience they have already with the lesson. Materials used: students' textbooks, teacher's guide, and media, projector, PowerPoint presentation. That means, like, as in the modern classroom, I would have started and portrayed the projector already when I am starting the class. And the second stage is for 25 minutes, that is material presentation or guided practice. That is about taking them into the lesson with evidences and broader knowledge. So, the first procedure in the second step is present interactive examples on the whiteboard or using flashcards. Guide students in identifying and distinguish between short and long vowels. Encourage them to participate actively by repeating words and sounds. So, after hearing their experiences and everything, now when I am projecting the flashcards and words and examples on whiteboard or the projector using flashcards, and I ask them questions and interacting session. And the second step is teacher gives explanation, definitions, and while delivering the material, teacher asks students to write down the materials in their notebook. So now, after hearing the experiences and everything, in today's lesson, I am giving them important notes to not jot down in their notebooks about the definitions and the usage and everything. And the third procedure is teacher presents a set of familiar words in addition to the vocabulary introduced in previous grades. So I'm introducing them set of new vocabularies. And the next stage is break ground. That is about all fun and stuff. And in this stage, teacher makes students, 4 to 5 students, to come forward to ground break fun activities and explain the rules of the game. So I'm introducing a game for them and I am giving them instructions, and I'm getting 3 or 4 like students in a group in front of the classroom and set up puzzle stations with different types of puzzles, like puzzles, word scramble puzzles that focus on vowel patterns. Students can rotate through stations in small groups, making them into small groups and making them stand in front of the classroom and making the puzzle card rotate through the groups. After the rotations, discuss the experience, highlighting key insights into vowel patterns, relate the puzzle activity back to the lesson objectives, reinforcing the connection between the fun activities and learning goals. In this stage, uh, assessing students to have fun with the learning activity. So they will have like puzzles, questions, and vowel cards, and they can notice the changes and differences between card to card, the word to word, and the patterns, and they will distinguish and find out the differences and the meanings through the fun activity. And for this, the materials used are puzzle materials, reflection sheets, group worksheet cards, and media is interactive whiteboard. Every time they are scoring a marks, I can score a mark on whiteboard and I can give instructions through whiteboard and projector. And the final stage is wrap up. That is, begin by revising the lesson objectives. In this one, the lesson objectives will be revised. Ask students to reflect on what they have learned about vowel sounds. Encourage them to share their thoughts and insights. By far, like what they have learned, I will ask questions to them and they will answer what they have learned through the fun activities and introduction and materials given, and summarize the key vowel patterns and concepts covered in the lesson. As this is the final stage, the whole lesson will be summarized and discuss real world applications of understanding vowel sounds in reading and writing. So, like for them to remember easily, I will discuss and compare it to real world examples and engage in a brief closing activity or discussion that reinforces the vowel concept learned. And finally, I can assess students to have like conversation methods or like interactive methods so that I can understand the level they have understood so far, and assign relevant homework or reinforcement activities to check their uh, ability of understanding. I will assess them relevant homeworks so they I can test the relevancy and connect the current lesson to the next one, providing a brief overview. And when I'm starting the next session, I will connect the previous lesson that is about vowels to the next session so that I can remind them again about the same lesson. In the lesson with positive reinforcement, acknowledging students' efforts and encouraging and continued practice. And for this wrap up stage, the materials used. is homework assignments, relevant books, so text and media, digital resources such as the projector, whiteboard, and everything. So, this is about the lesson plan of a day about vowels. Thank you so much.